Hello my charmed ones, and welcome back to my channel for another video. And if this is your first time with me, I would just like to say hello and welcome. My name is Alexis, but I'm also known as MissTrenchcoat all across the internet. I'm an online entrepreneur who designs and sells digital content to help you work smarter, not harder. Now, if that sounds interesting to you, I'll go ahead and leave my links down below in the description box so you can check out my work online. And feel free to download some of my latest free productivity tools over at thecharmedshop.com. So it's now December of 2016 if you're watching this more or less as the video goes live onto YouTube. And this is the time of year, if you are an entrepreneur, that you should start business planning for the new year. So for today's installment of my Plan Like an Entrepreneur series, I'm going to walk you through the general process that I will be taking to prepare my business for the new year and sort of wrap up things now in 2016. So if you're running a business, if this is something interesting to you, or if perhaps you have plans in 2017 to start a business and you'd kind of like to see the process now that I'm taking to prepare for a successful new year, this is the video for you. Let's get started. So the first step that I'm going to take to prepare my business for the new year is to analyze my previous year, or at this point, current year results. So this is something that I like to do. It's a process I like to undertake at the end of the year. And I realize that when it comes to analyzing your results, you may not have a complete closed year yet, but this is a process that you can absolutely start collecting information on right now and do a lot of analysis because we only have a few more weeks left in 2016. Now, granted, these could be very busy times for your business, but at least having a majority of the year behind us, this is a great time to start analyzing what your business did in the current year. So when I say analyze, what you're going to want to do is assemble your sales information, your revenue numbers, look at your content, and see the growth that your business maybe had in terms of followers on social media or your email list. Get a sense of where your business was at the start of the year and how far you've come to see how much has actually happened in the previous year. And of course, if you're not already tracking your statistics on social media to see how your following's growing, this is something you really want to start doing immediately. I actually have a video that was a Plan Like an Entrepreneur video a few weeks ago that's all about how to track your social media statistics and also analyze them. So I'll leave that linked down below if that's something that you need to learn, a process you need to learn for your business. But right now, getting started, looking at your business and the results that you already had in the current year or in the previous year, if you're doing this right at the beginning of 2017 or any future year, this is a process that you're going to want to start with, analyzing your results, collecting the data for how well your business did in the prior year. So the second step that I'm going to take that I also suggest that you take is to set your goals and targets for the new year. So these are going to be on the same measurables that we analyzed the step before. So your sales, your revenue, your content in terms of both how much content you created and how well the content did. So if you have tracking and analytics on how your content did, you want to look at that. As well, you may also want to look at the types of content you created, what categories they sort of fall in inside of the overall umbrella of your brand. So again, sales, revenue, content, the growth of your following and list, anything like that. You want to set these sorts of goals for what you want to do in the new year. And how you're going to do that is you're actually going to take those results that you analyzed from the current or previous year and sort of work up a number that you feel comfortable with as a target for where you want your business to be next year. Now, this whole process of analyzing your results and setting new targets and new goals for the new year is something that I've actually already outlined in a video from last year when it was the new year coming up. So I'm going to leave a link down below so you can watch that entire video. It is quite long. It was a live webinar that I had filmed on YouTube. So it is chock full of information, but it'll actually walk you through my exact process for all of the things that I look at when I'm analyzing and setting goals. So I would highly suggest, if you have the time, to check that video out so that you go through this process with a little bit more structure. Obviously, I'm not going to be going through every single tiny minute detail in today's video, or it would take forever, but I've got that video as a reference for you to use. Feel free to check it out. Now, the third step that I'm going to take to prepare my business for the new year is I'm going to set up my planner, and I'm going to start working in it and putting plans in it now before the year begins. Now, I know many of you have been asking if I'm going to do a new planner setup video for the new year. Of course I am, and I'm going to debut my new freebies and my new dashboards for 2017 in that video. But that video is actually slated to go live on Christmas Day. So the 25th of December, 2016, that's when you guys will be able to watch that video walkthrough. So this is a few weeks from now. So in the meantime, I'll go ahead and link to my current planner setup because, to be honest, not much is really going to change, but I am still going to do that video for you guys to show you what is new and some new freebies and fun things that I've got for you. So mark your calendar for that. It's my little Christmas gift to you. But to help you prepare before that video goes live, I want to run down with you really quickly some things that I think are essentials for you to have inside of your planner if you are a business person or an entrepreneur, okay? So the first thing that I think is very important when it comes to your business planner is I think you should really only have one planner. So I personally only use one planner for my personal life and my business life, okay? So I know that this is a little bit of a controversial subject when I say that I really think you should only have one planner because you only have one life, right? So I don't want you splitting your information between two planners and then getting overwhelmed because you miss things. So I really do think it's important to have one planner for both, and that's what I'm going to be doing. However, if you are someone who absolutely wants a different planner for your personal life and for your business life, then I think that at the very least, you should only have your business plans in one planner. Please don't spread all of your stuff out in different planners, in different notebooks. If you're someone who already has this system working and it's working for you, that's one thing. You obviously don't need my advice if you already have a system that's working. But if you're someone who doesn't have a planner system right now, or you're someone who does have a system, but that system is not working and you're dropping the ball on things, you are missing information, you're just really disorganized, try to keep everything in one planner in one dedicated place. Now, what you're gonna put inside of that planner is very important, okay? So the first element I think your business planner needs to have is a monthly view. So I use a month on 2 pages that is an overview for how I'm planning and working out my month. And on this view, generally what I'll put in it is my editorial calendar. I'll plan out what content is going out when, what promotions I'm working on or plan to execute for the month, and any other scheduled events that have to do with my life or business. And I say life or business because, as I said, I only have one life. I only have one body to do everything in a 24-hour period of time. So I need to see what personal obligations I've got next to my business obligations so that I can effectively manage my time. So monthly overview, very important. The second thing I want you to have in your planner is a weekly view or a daily view. So I use a week on 2 pages, which is a vertical layout. It's my Charmed Life Planner. I'm sure if you guys have seen any of my videos before, you know about this planner already, but I'll leave it linked down below if you're curious. And I am the kind of person who does not need a day on a page. But if you are someone who needs a daily to handle your work on a weekly basis, feel free to substitute a weekly view for a daily view. I just want to make sure you have enough space in your planner and in your days so that you can map out everything that you need to accomplish. Next, I think it's really important for you to have a master task list for each month. So a lot of people who run businesses have a lot of things that they're juggling, and I'm often asked by people how I keep everything straight so that I know what I'm working on and I know what is maybe something that's for the future or belongs to a different month. The way I organize my tasks is through a monthly master task list, one for each month of the year. And on that task list, I list out anything that is reoccurring or scheduled for that month. So anything I know I need to do already. And then I will put new information on there, new tasks that I want to complete within the month on that task list. So everything is in a dedicated space. It's not in some sort of master list in my planner that's got hundreds and hundreds of different items on it. That can be very overwhelming. I put what I'm working on for the month on that monthly list, so I'm crystal clear on what I need to be working on. Now, I also think it's important to have expense sheets in your planner. Whether or not you use a financial system that's digital or not, I also like to have expense sheets. And even if you're not someone who is going to track every single individual bill and every payment and every bit of income that you have on there, I think it's at least good to even just map out a expense plan for your income and your expenses. So when you've set your goals for what you're going to make for the year, revenue-wise or sales-wise, I think it's really important to maybe map that out on an expense sheet just to help you keep track of the numbers that you specifically need to reach each month in order to hit your sales goals and your revenue goals. And you also want to track on there any expenses that you already know about, because revenue is great. When you make sales and you make money, it's great. But if you have too many expenses that's throwing off really the income that you're bringing in for your business, I think it's important to track that and see exactly where your money is going. So if you can kind of use an expense sheet to either be a map or to be a place that you actually track every single thing, either way, I think it's great, and I think that that's a habit that an entrepreneur or a business owner really needs to get into, really looking at the numbers and being accountable to them. I also think it's very important to have project planning sheets in your planner. So I use a complete project planning bundle that is for sale in my shop, and I'll leave a link down below for that as well. And also I'll go ahead and link a video for how I use those project planning pages. But you know, a lot of the work that you will be doing as a business owner is a project, whether or not that is creating a system for your business or creating a new product or doing marketing or promotion. A lot of things that you're working on really should be treated like projects. So if you do not have projects actually lined up and outlined in your planner, I think that that is a major thing that you would be missing. And I'd highly recommend that you add that to your planner immediately for the new year. The next thing that I think you absolutely need to have either in your planner or with your planner is a notebook. So your planner itself is for you to write out plans and tasks and schedules and time management things, right? It's not the place where you're going to literally outline every idea or brain dump every idea that you have for your business. I use a separate notebook for that that's actually paired up with my planner. You can see I actually have it in here with my planner, so it's always with me. But either having a dedicated note section in your planner if you're someone that uses like a Filofax, or if you have a separate notebook where you're dedicated writing all of those sorts of plans and ideas and keeping track of things there, like lists of things that don't need to be part of your plans specifically and part of your calendar, I would highly recommend that as well. And the final item that I recommend you have in your planner is some sort of year at a glance forward planning system. So I actually have this insert that is a freebie up in my shop, and I'll link to it down below so you guys can grab this. It's very helpful. But as you can see, this actually has 6 months of the year listed out. So you can see like January, and it says the 1st to the 31st. So it's every day of the year or of the month broken out for the entire year, including the day of the week. So it says like S for Sunday and Monday, Tuesday, sorts of things like that. It indicates what day of the week it is. And this is double-sided, and it's something that I just fold in half and put inside of my planner so it fits nicely inside. But as you can see, I've actually already started using this. What I think you need to use this for is forward planning and content planning ongoing. So like I said, in my monthly view, I will list out what content I actually have to work on. But at the beginning of the year, or I should say right now, before the year has begun, I'm actually starting a process of mapping out my content for months at a time so that I can get an idea of how I want to break up my year and what content I want to work on at what time so that I'm completely organized. So this won't be like a running list of all my blog posts or all my YouTube videos. I'll keep that on just like a dedicated page on my planner, or you could do that inside of your notebook, just have a page of ideas. But I do think that before you actually pen it into your month, you should have it broken out almost on like this sort of year at a glance situation so that you can see what's going on where and where you may need to fill in gaps for promotions or marketing or anything like that. So I think this is very interesting and very important to have. So I will leave you a link down below. Again, it is a freebie in my shop. Okay, so that's everything that I think you need to have in your planner. And like I said, I will be doing a full planner setup video on Christmas Day for you. And in the meantime, you guys can definitely check out my functional planning series. I'll leave that link down below as well, so you guys can get an idea of how I use my planner and plan functionally so that I work smarter, not harder, and achieve all of the tasks that I need to complete in the month in order to propel my business forward. Okay, so the fourth step that I'm going to take for my business prep that I suggest you take as well is to get your systems in place. Okay, so systems are just a codified process for how you operate or do something specific in your business. So if you have a process essentially for how you handle a certain aspect of your business, let's say customer service emails, it's very important that you actually codify this process and turn it into a system. Why would you want to do this if you already know how your customer service process works? Well, two reasons. Number one, it really does save time if you actually have the process codified, because as you go through the process and build the system, you're actually going to be able to evaluate it and decide what is necessary for you to do and what is not necessary for you to do. It almost helps you to optimize the process when you turn it into a system and actually codify it or write it down, right? Just have it written down so you know the process. And the second reason why codifying a system is important is because if you at any point during the next year or sometime in the future decide to hire employees, maybe you already have some, maybe you're a solopreneur like me, maybe you're someone who's looking to bring on a VA, if you have your processes codified, it makes it so much easier to hand off tasks to the new person because you've actually already created the system and the structure that they need to follow. Literally, you've written out the directions. You can just hand them the directions and let them go with, more or less minimum oversight. It may take them a few tries to actually understand the system and get it right, but having it codified is going to make your training process easier for them. And it's also going to give you the ability to kind of step back and let them take the reins because you've given them the directions, so they're going to be able to work things out on their own. Now, what sort of systems do I think you need to have in place specifically? Number one, I think your emails. You really should have a system for your emails, customer service, or just answering and responding to emails in general. I think it's very important to have a system on those. So if you're someone who struggles with emails or, has an inbox that is filled with emails and you want to get it down to inbox 0, I recently did a video on that. So I will leave that link down below so you can get a handle of your emails before the new year begins. I also think it's important to have a system for your order processing. What happens when someone places an order? What is the process behind the scenes for your customer experience? If someone is ordering something from you in your business, what steps do you now take in order to fulfill that order and take care of that customer? I also think it's very important that you have a financial system in place. So again, you could have a financial system in your planner with some expense sheets, but I also think that it's very good, especially in this day and age, to have some sort of digital system for tracking your income and expenses, for systematizing your savings account, right? Where you're going to be putting money into savings, how much, especially planning for taxes and tax time. I also think it's important to have a system for your accounts payable. So when you actually have to pay a bill, what is the system for that? Are you going to put in auto bill pay and things like that for your business? These are things you want to think about now and make sure you've got a system in place so that it makes your life easier and helps your business run smoother in the future. Also, some other things you may want to think about, depending on what business you run, what sort of business, is a system for inventory, manufacturing, marketing and promotion, and any administrative work that you may have. So actually, something that I was actually thinking about that is another free resource in my shop that may help you with this process as well of developing your systems, and it's just a great insert just to have, is this online business brain dump incompletions trigger list. So this actually has all of the sort of like topics or categories of online business broken out: products, content, financial, admin, web platforms, development, and marketing. And if you go through this, it may actually help you to decide what areas of your business should be systematized. And it's also just a wonderful thing to have to make sure that you are brain dumping your business ideas and concepts on a regular basis. So I'll leave this link down below for you as well. Again, completely free. Okay, and the fifth and final step that I'm going to be taking to help prepare my business for the new year, that I also highly suggest that you take as well, is to do some personal development. And specifically, I think it's great if you could do some work understanding your personality type. So if you run your own business, either full-time or maybe as a side hustle, right? You need to be focused on your own personal development as a leader, even if you don't have any employees and maybe you never intend to hire them. We really underestimate how difficult it is to be a business owner, not just in terms of the effort that's required and the marketable skills you need to have, but also because the pressure of running your own business, even just part-time, it really takes a toll on you. And there's a real reason why so many successful entrepreneurs and business owners are frequently associated with various different productivity methods and life hacks, because making time for your business, your personal life, and your personal alone time takes work. Now, personal development is a huge field of study, so I'm not going to try to overwhelm you guys with all different books and resources to try to make yourself a better business owner or a better leader or a better communicator. However, I do want to leave you with two suggestions that have to do with understanding your personality type that I've recently gone through and have done in the past as well, that have been very, very helpful for me to understand my strengths and my weaknesses as a business owner. The first of these is the Myers-Briggs type test. Now, you may have heard of this test before. It helps you to understand your dominant predispositions in your personality. And from understanding your Myers-Briggs type, you can actually understand yourself at a higher level and take action by working on issues or challenges that your personality type may face. Now, in case you're curious, my Myers-Briggs type is ENFJ, which means that I'm an extrovert, that's the E. It means that I use my intuition and feelings to judge situations. So that is, the N is intuition, the F is feelings, and the J is judgment. So that is my personality type that's broken down into the Myers-Briggs types. I believe that all in all, there is 16 personalities that you could fall into that are variations of these different letters in 4 different categories. I actually wrote a blog post on the Myers-Briggs type test a while back, so I'll leave that link down below, and it also has a link for where you can take the test for free, and it has a bunch of different free resources for you to help understand what your Myers-Briggs type is and how you can use your strengths and help to mask your weaknesses or work on issues that may be weaknesses for you in the future so that you become a better leader and a better business owner. Now, the second test that I recommend is one that I've recently taken for myself. Now, this is called the Fascination Personality Test, developed by Sally Hogshead. Now, this test is actually geared towards business owners, whereas the Myers-Briggs type test, you may have actually done that test at work. I know that my corporate job, we took that test once to kind of understand our personality types and our leadership styles. But this Fascinations personality test is actually geared towards business owners and anyone who's trying to develop a brand specifically online. It essentially pinpoints different dominant communication styles that people use to attract audiences and to fascinate people with their brands. Now, my fascination personality archetype, that's what they're called personality archetypes, is called the Victor, which means that I communicate primarily with prestige, and my secondary advantage is power. So I'm the Victor, I am prestige and power. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many of these personalities there are. It probably is a couple dozen, something like the Myers-Briggs or even more, because I think there were a lot of different options. So I would highly recommend checking out that test as well. Again, it's free online, and I think it was even easier than the Myers-Briggs. I want to say it was took me 5 minutes maybe. It was like 20 questions. So I would definitely check that one out and kind of understand your communication style, because that's so important for online business. Now, just a few tips for you guys. I do think that with both of these tests, it is so important to take your time when you're answering them and try not to overthink things. You really need to make your answers accurate, not just in terms of what you wish you would do or in a perfect world how you would answer a question, but really in reality, the things that you actually do day to day. Because it's so important that if you're on this personal development journey, that you get accurate information for where you are right now so that you can improve yourself in the future. Okay, so those are the 5 steps that I will be taking to prepare my business for the new year, and I hope that you guys will consider taking many of these steps along with me. If you do, I definitely want to hear about it down in the comments. So let's start a discussion about personal development and the things that we all want to do for our businesses. If you think I left something major out, please, by all means, make sure you point it out to me down in the comments so that the whole community can benefit from your knowledge and your experience as well. I hope you did like this video, and if it was inspiring to you or helped you to outline the actions that you are going to take to get your business set up for success in the new year, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up and feel free to share it with any friends of yours that may be entrepreneurs or your business bestie. I'm sure they would appreciate it as well. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more awesome videos by me, and until next time, bye-bye!